Welcome to the Essentially You podcast, where we explore the science of happiness and well-being to help coaches and coaching leaders bring out the best in themselves and those they serve. If you're looking for new approaches to serve your clients or looking to create a culture of positivity and well-being in your organization, join me, Mark Mathia, on a journey of discovery and inspiration. Tim Ferriss, the great podcaster, said that podcasting is a way for me to connect with my audience in a more intimate and personal way. I believe that's so true. In this episode of Essentially You, let's talk about podcasting and why, if you're a professional coach or a coaching leader, you should consider doing it yourself. Hey, welcome to the show. And look, friends, there's one question I get asked more than about any other. The question is, why do I podcast? What can I gain about putting myself out there week in and week out? And as I reflect on this question, I have to say I think it's a fair one. And it's a question for me with a very complicated answer. Podcasting, in general, has become an increasingly popular medium for sharing knowledge, inspiring change, and serving communities. As an internal positive psychology coach, speaker, trainer, and executive leader, I've had the opportunity to witness firsthand the power of podcasting as a tool for personal and professional growth. But to me, podcasting is very personal. I believe in the power of voice and its dynamic potential to bring change in myself and in others. And that's why if you're a coach or coaching leader, perhaps you should think about having a podcast and offering your best to the world. As a leader, hosting a personal podcast offers several benefits. Now, depending on your intentions and circumstances, of course. However, it also comes with some challenges. Let's talk about those first. First, let's talk about at least 3 leading potential benefits I think coaches and leaders can get from podcasting. Okay, this is not me. This is just what I think you can gain. First, authority and trust. Podcasting provides a platform to share professional insights, industry trends, company updates, establishing one as an industry leader. I think this builds trust among both clients, associates, and any other stakeholder around you. The second is it can help sharpen your professional reputation. Podcasts are an excellent way to humanize yourself. It's an intimate medium where people often listen while doing chores, commuting, exercising, and doing other things during personal times. I think this creates a personal connection with the audience. And the third is it helps build community. When you bring on a guest or you work with other people on a podcast, it can strengthen your relationship. And that strengthens your relationships with other industry experts, potential partners, influencers, etc. It gives us all access to opportunities to develop relationships and surround ourselves with other people like us who are thought leaders. Now, what are the challenges? Okay, let's give 3 challenges so you get a clear picture of what you're committing to. First of all, it's a time commitment, right? See, producing a podcast can take time. It can be time consuming. Planning, recording, editing, all that stuff. It takes time, but once you get good, once you get into the flow of it, it's really quite simple. Number 2, content creation. Now, creating engaging, high-quality content has been the challenging or the most challenging part. However, I want to tell you that I found this tension in my life is the one with the biggest benefit because it constantly keeps me thinking and curious. As I go through my week, I'm very present, listening to and figuring out what I've learned. And when I get that curious about life and learning from others, whether it's in the healthcare industry or beyond, that content that I can curate really helps me become better at what I'm doing. So content creation is very challenging, yes, but it's also a secret weapon to great leadership. And the third is this thing called reputation management. And I would say this, having a public voice, and this could be a challenge, means every word that you say could be scrutinized. You put yourself out there. So statements can be taken out of context, potentially leading to reputational issues. Now, before you jump into podcasting, here's what I recommend. I recommend you get highly in tune with both your strengths and your weaknesses. I'm not telling you to focus on your weakness. I'm just telling you, if you have a blind spot, like if you at the core of your thinking are kind of bullyish or jerkish, then don't do a podcast yet. Appreciate and respect the power of voice means that you must weigh your words carefully and make sure that you're walking in alignment with your values. That's why I think everyone needs a coach, by the way. But once you're there, I think it's a great way to then step forward and share your voice. Why, we can all look at the clinical merits of podcasting. Now let's get to what I really wanted to talk about is why do I do it, right? And why I think you should do it also. Now, by the way, I've never followed a person's podcast who solely wanted to build their brand. I find that shallow and fake and not authentic. Okay, so here are my reasons why I podcast. The number one is, drumroll please, it's better to give than to receive. And one of the things I enjoy most about podcasting is my ability to give back to the community. Sharing knowledge, insights, experience, I believe makes a difference in other people's life. And I find that very fulfilling, a fulfilling experience to know that I'm positively impacting others. Podcasting has allowed me to connect with and even interview and talk with amazing people who've had significant contributions in their respective fields. Now, through conversations, through deep thoughts, through lessons I've learned, I've gained insight into my own journey as well as their journey and learned from our shared experiences. And that is why I love to podcast. It's better to give than to receive. The second one is I learned through teaching. And teaching is one of the best ways I've found to reinforce my understanding of a subject. And I think podcasting is an excellent way to share not only what I know, it also helps me seal it in permanently. So as I research, read books, listen to new things, talk to other people, I get to explore new topics and connect with others on various subjects and ideas. But podcasting has allowed me to improve my communication skills, deepen that knowledge, really lock it in, and articulate those ideas, hopefully in a fairly simple manner. And the third thing I really love about podcasting myself is it keeps my skills and my voice sharp. Podcasting really taught me the importance of constant, never-ending improvement because I put myself out there. I put myself out of my comfort zone, and by doing that, I've learned that I love learning. And as I do, I reinforce what I learned by putting my voice to it, and what I've been exposed to, that solidifies my knowledge and helps me communicate in a way that saves my listeners or people that would follow a podcast like this time and money. See, I believe that if I can take big ideas and communicate them really simply and easily and effectively and offer it out to the public for free, then I'm serving my community. And I believe that when we put the needs of the community first, everyone benefits. And this is why creating a space where I can keep my skills fresh, my voice sharp, while helping others feel seen and heard and valued and offer them some helpful advice, I believe that just really pays off in the long run. Podcasting has given me a personal space to share those thoughts and ideas and to hear from others and their thoughts and ideas. It's allowed me to connect with listeners and others and to help them grow personally and professionally. Friends, this is why I podcast, and I feel you should too. Podcasting is a rewarding experience and worth the extra work. It's taught me the value of giving back, learning through teaching, and giving more than I receive. It's taught me how important it is to sharpen my skills as a speaker, as a communicator. Podcasting is an excellent way to share ideas, make a positive impact, and build meaningful connections. Who, as a coach or a coaching leader, doesn't need that? Remember, it's not about getting the most out of podcasting, but it is about giving the most back. And that is why I believe every leader should consider their own podcast. And now it's your turn to get out there and put your coaching leadership into practice and make a difference in somebody else's world. If you've liked what you've listened to and learned, would you please consider subscribing on iTunes or Podbean and leaving a review? I'd really appreciate it. And until we talk again, I hope you know I'm cheering for you.